So, people, welcome to our show today. Man, we got a bunch of stuff here going on here. Mr. Harvey was just telling me that we got uh, we are college football freaks and everything. So, anybody who lives here in the South knows that when football season comes on, football is king down here. Everybody goes and watches it. You see, you get on the interstate, buddy, you can see all kind of flags: LSU flag, Georgia flag, Florida flag, Alabama flags, depending on where the game is at. South Carolina flag, Ole Miss flags, Mississippi State flags. Man, these folks is crazy down here about football. So we're in that football season, so most of our afternoon has been spent watching these games and stuff that's going on. So anyway, getting back to the show, Ted, what have we got to talk about today?
Well, I'm going to start off with the politics because, but my main thing I want to talk about is North Korea and South Korea. But this race is getting so interesting because you're getting all of these different kinds of I don't know what you call it. I'm getting different messages. They're saying that it's tied, but then at the same time, uh, they're saying everything is in play now. Where strongholds in the red states is in play, saying Texas is in play, saying Florida is in play, Wisconsin is in play, Michigan is in play. All of these states, and polls. I don't pretty much trust the polls that much, but at the same time, it gives you a picture. If you got a half a dozen polls, you sort of kind of figure out what's going on. But the thing that I love about what the VP, the Vice President Harris, is doing is that she has hundreds of thousands of people that's volunteering and getting the word out. And once again, I've been doing a lot of my deep diving as far as her programs and things, and a lot of people is pretty much liking what they hear. As far as when you're talking about more jobs, when you're talking about building 3 million homes, you're talking about more jobs. When you're talking about increasing businesses, I think it's something like her goal is 25 million new businesses. 25 million. What that's telling you is that because when you build these new homes, you're going to need businesses in these communities, these developments, because you can build 1,000 homes or 2,000 homes in one area. They're going to need these little mini malls, and they're going to need all of these little filling stations and retail stores and grocery stores and all of those types of things. So I'm I'm excited, and if she get elected, that's going to be a big thing to get done. So if all of this is in play, plus she wants to better the healthcare system. So all of those things are in play. When you talking about starting businesses, 25 million new businesses. And about a couple of months ago we was talking about the Fortune 500, and out of
Hmm.
those Fortune 500, there's only like maybe 200 companies that still exist within those 45 500 Fortune 500s. The
Hmm.
turnover is ridiculous. So therefore, you never know what companies they're gonna rise up, because there's so many companies right now that's not in the in the top 2,000. They got what they call a 2,000. They got the 500. But then those companies that really make an inroad can be moving up. And it could be some of those opportunities that are available. I was just doing a little research on the opportunity zones. Have you heard about that?
Mm-mm.
That's something that Trump had started. And but the thing is that the only people that can invest that had the money is those multi-millionaire people. And the reason why that they wanted to invest because they can write all of that off to a large degree, and they don't have to even finish the project. They can just buy a piece of land and then start building a little bit of it, and then that's it. And if you look at some of those opportunity zones, that a lot of those places have not even been built. They were supposed to be available for those communities, but the people that in those communities can't afford to actually get involved because you have to have so many millions of dollars in order to get those funds.
What about
So
child care?
it was a wash.
Well, what about child care? Remember that child care? She's did you see that uh I guess it wasn't a rally, it was a dinner or something, everything for
Yeah, I saw it.
some billionaires, and they had Trump sitting up there on the center stage. And one of the ladies asked him a question about what was he going to do about child care. And man, his answer was so messed up. I couldn't, I don't know. I listened to it at least three
But did
times.
you hear what he said? What he was going to do?
He didn't say what he was going to do.
Oh, I'll tell you exactly what he said he was going to
What did he say?
do. He said that he was going to use the tariff money to help child care. Now, well, last year we received $80
Well,
billion in tariffs. Last year, China received 110 billion in tariffs. When
so
we export, and so therefore we these businesses that export goods over there, China charged them 110 billion. We've charged China 80 billion.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry, but I listened to him. They put it on. I saw
You
uh
heard that he says only a small. He
I saw
said
two
this is a
MSNBC
small thing.
shows. I saw CNN, and each one of them put him on. And I didn't hear him say that. I don't know what. I guess those people in the audience must have heard what you heard, because they clapped about it. They had a big.
Yeah,
They stood up and gave him a standing ovation almost for what he said. But I didn't hear him say that. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's what he
I
said.
didn't.
That's what he said. But $80 billion is not the issue as far as child care
But
because child care is all about deductibles. If you're paying $1,000 a month for your child, what percentage can you deduct from your taxes? And that type of thing. Usually they allow you a certain percentage to deduct those funds out of there for child care. But at the same time, the price these people don't want to work for no $10 to $15 an hour. They want $20 to $25 an hour now, and so it's very expensive. And so, what subsidies are you going to give these people? Grants or and that type of thing to help these people have these child care facilities. Because if you got two children, let's say 2 and 3 or 3 and 5 or 3 and 4, those kids are too young, for preschool or that type of thing. So you go to daycare And those daycare things are very expensive, especially if you got an infant that's like 6 months or 7 months old. They
But
charge even more.
but on your but on your taxes, you can deduct your child care expenses and stuff off of your taxes and everything,
Only a
but
certain
you
percentage
have
is.
to you have to file. Well, that's a that's a kind of a situation and everything to where you have a choice there and stuff and everything, as how you want to do that, because on your Schedule A, on your tax forms and stuff and everything, yes, there is a once you get down to the bottom there, if you got enough and everything, even if you got a certain percentage of it and everything, you can still make a deduction and stuff on it. But you got to have a heck of a lot of loss in other areas, like if you paying for your health care and all that. So it's a catch 22 there, because there is no and well, man, I don't want to get into that tax code, because it's a real mess out there, but you can deduct some of that stuff and everything off of your taxes. But it all depends on stuff on where you stand and
What
stuff as
other
far as your
deductibles you
tax
have?
bracket is concerned. Yeah, it all depends on what tax bracket that you're in, is how that works. But I think what the lady who asked the question and everything was looking for a straightforward answer, and not saying that you're going to take the money from the tariff, because really that is that money is being paid. Eventually the American folks is paying that in a higher cost. So in essence and stuff, if you're using the tariff money to offset that that expense, it's still it's a catch 22, because you still wind up having to pay all that money out of your pocket in higher costs and stuff for goods and services that China's going to charge you, because China is not going to pay that tariff when it comes in here. The people in the United States going to eventually pay that tariff, because they're going to increase the price of those goods and everything. So you still have that money still coming out of your pocket. So it's not really helping the American people, or the people out there who have children. But what is the direct effect and stuff upon that is what Kamala and stuff is saying. She wants to give them that child, go back to that child tax credit that happened during the COVID years, which was helping a lot of people. And she also wants to give people and stuff who have a newborn baby. I think, did she say something like they get a $5,000 credit and everything for a newborn baby?
$6,000.
Yeah, you up front. You have a new child, you automatically got $6,000 coming in your pocket, along with your, as the years go by, their child tax credit, which is money and stuff to help for the children, and that's a direct payment and stuff and everything to you, instead of having to pay it out of your pocket and stuff when you're buying the milk or whatever you're buying and stuff out there, as far as higher costs and stuff and everything for goods. It's a direct payment and everything to the individual who have the children. So I think her idea and stuff is a lot more direct and everything than hearing him say that he's going to use the tariff money and everything to pay for child care.
He ain't got no plan, man, for no everyday people, for
I know
anybody.
he doesn't, because I'm just saying to you, I did not hear that. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna listen to that thing again and see what the heck he said, because he spoke about a whole lot of stuff and everything, because I know every each one of those news agencies, they pinpointed upon that thing where he says, well, child care. And most of them were upset about it, because he he doesn't even take care of his own children. So but anyway, I think that she has an economic plan that probably is a lot better for the American people than what uh, Trump has to say, because I think he's really, and I believe the reason why those people in the audience and stuff, who were mostly millionaires and billionaires and stuff, were in the audience, were clapping and everything for that, because they eventually want him to extend that tax relief that they got in 2017, and that's their main purpose and stuff. So whatever he says, they don't care. All they care about is that he keeps that tax cut that they had enacted in 2017, and as long as he does that, they're going to be happy. So if Kamala gets in, that thing is going away. It is that tax relief that they got is going away, and their taxes are going to immediately start going back up again, and they don't really like that idea at all. Even though it's not going to hurt them, because if you're a billionaire and everything, and your taxes go up another $50,000 or $60,000, it's not going to really hurt your pocketbook at all. So pay your fair share, billionaires. Anyway, uh, Ted, I don't know. I look around this country and I see things that are going on, and how this country react to things, and this gun control thing and stuff and everything has came back again into the spotlight. They got this 14-year-old kid in Winder, Georgia, who killed 4 people and injured about 9 people. So this gun control thing is right back into the spotlight and stuff again. And I really think that the Second Amendment people who want to keep their guns and who believe in hunting and fishing and stuff, I believe that we can come together, man, with the people who want to do something with gun control and with the people and stuff who like their hunting and fishing. And I know they like their hunting and fishing, and they want to go out and use their guns and stuff for things. And I'm not this thing to take care of gun control is not for those folks and stuff who are legitimately going out and hunting and fishing. It's not. It's to stop these guns from coming into our schools and killing our children. And really, man, if I was a parent right now and I had a child who was in school, man, I would be outraged at some of these congressional people who are sitting out there. I would be outraged and stuff with Governor Kemp, who was our governor and stuff, saying, well, we're sending out our prayers. Don't send me your prayers. Deal with my child being in school and protect them. I don't need your prayers. I need my children to be protected. And that should be what he should be working on, instead of sitting out there and you see all these other congressional folks and like Taylor Green and all these Republican folks and stuff. Oh, we sorry, we want to cry for you or whatever. Those children are dead. If you had have done something about this child who had the gun, or did what you need to do and everything, these children would still be alive. And it's just a horrible shame, man. But I do believe that eventually, that if we can bring those gun right folks and the other people to the table, it can come up with some kind of solution and everything to stop this violence and stuff that's going on in our schools. So anyway, that's my take.
Yeah.
I was just, man, I was so sick, man, seeing our governor. It just, man, I don't know. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of the parents and stuff feel the same way that I do and stuff. I don't need your prayer. Take these guns out of the school. And
Well, and this is just my own opinion. And the thing is that when they allowed these manufacturing people to start having these gun shows, they're giving these people all kind of license to sell guns. They got all these things, because they've been using the word crime. Now we know that crime has been going down since the 90s. The one thing that has gone down also is murder, but there are still murders that's happening. The thing is that people are fearful. And the reason why a lot of them are fearful is because there are certain news people that put it out there, you know. And, there are people that break in homes or rob stores. Those are criminals. And that's been going on for ever since I was a child. Because, that's what they want to do. But they have overblown this thing so much. You got people, the person that shot, there was a kid that had shot, supposed to have shot 45. That's what they say. He was shot in the ear. I haven't seen that mark yet. But he's supposed.
And most people now are not even talking about that. They're trying to say that he is a hero because he held his thumb up and told everybody, "I'm all right. We're going to keep on going." So in essence, he is a glorified hero and stuff now, instead of them finding out what the heck really happened and stuff and everything, and why this kid who was a Republican, a MAGA person and stuff and everything, would bring a gun there and shoot it into his rally.
Well, the reason why I
It
brought
doesn't
it
make
up
any sense.
is the
It
reason
doesn't
why
make any sense.
the reason why I brought it up is this man, father, this boy's father, had 19 guns in his house, and he gave him his gun. So why would you have 19 guns in your house?
Ted, we're in the South, and most of these folks who live outside the urban areas and everything, they have their guns. And to them, having a gun is a right. And it has gotten so embedded and stuff into their culture and everything that they go out and they buy guns and stuff like most of our children and stuff buy games. That's what they think about guns. I'm gonna go get me a gun, and they can go to these gun shows and pick up guns, and they can do whatever. But they have those things and stuff in their home because they feel that they have to have a gun. That people are attacking their Second Amendment, so this is a way for them to tell these folks who are attacking their Second Amendment, you can't stop me from having a gun. So they just keep going out there and buying guns. And it's a status symbol and stuff to them. So when their friends come up to their house and everything, they pull out all of their guns and they sit out and go up in the woods and they'll, well, shoot this gun over here, man, and this thing will go off, bam, or shoot this rifle over here, bam, it's a game to them. But like you said, why? And I think that the your district attorney and stuff did the right thing. Put this cyber gun on trial too, because you're right. He had no business giving a 14-year-old kid a AK-47. There was no reason for him giving that kid that, and then not keeping track of it. Because when you got guns and stuff, you're supposed to lock them up. Correct?
That's
You're supposed to lock
correct.
the guns up, lock them up, so that your kids and stuff don't get them. But he gave his son the gun and used the justification that he was being bullied at school. If he's being bullied at school, why does this child need a gun? Hell, I've been bullied at school when I was growing up. My parents didn't give me a gun. He just tell me to stand up for yourself. So I don't know, man. We need to do something and stuff about it. And it's just ironic and stuff, Ted, that here in the state of Georgia, they have passed gun rights and laws and stuff and everything that allow people to openly carry guns. And they have a law and stuff in this state that allows the teachers to bring a gun to the classroom. And I don't know if you noticed what the news was saying, but they're according to them, they're saying that this helped them to get the law enforcement to the school a lot faster than it would normally because they have these instruments and stuff or these communication devices and stuff inside these schools that they can push a button and the police and stuff is immediately notified and they rush to these schools. That's not an answer. It's not an answer. I think they need to do something better than that to get these guns out of school. And I don't think that a teacher should be allowed to bring a gun into the schools, even though they got the law passed here in the state of Georgia. It's ridiculous.
Well, this stuff has been going on really for the last 20 years on a heavy basis. And now you have people who have warehouses of guns and
Mm-hmm.
ammunition. So I don't know what people are thinking, and they can't live their own life and enjoy their life. They have to live, well, I wouldn't call it fear, but maybe it's a sense of, you said that they have a sense of pride or whatever it may be, but I think it's not necessarily fear, it's uh, precaution. Maybe it's precaution. They're thinking that it's going to be some kind of civil war. Now, I know for a fact that there are some people on both sides who's willing to do violence. However, the majority of people in this country just want to live their life and be happy. The majority of people. So when one person got 19 guns, there are people that's got hundreds of guns.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that there's over 320 million guns out here. They got more guns than people. So those guns get in the wrong hands. People leave their guns in their glove compartment in their cars. People
Mm-hmm.
break into their cars, they steal a gun, on and on. They leave them, they break in the house, they find the guns, So the point is that when you show a gun to a person, if you rob in a store, they're going to immediately give you that money because nobody want to get shot.
Mm-hmm.
For those people that want to rob.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how you stop that. The reason why, how you stop that is you have to have better policing, to prevent. So, most police, I heard Vice President Kamala Harris say that of all the crimes, 18% is violent. Now, that's still a high number, but of all the crimes, 18% is violent, using guns and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a high number. So that tells me, and then they can pinpoint exactly where those violent actions are coming from. In certain cities, certain areas, certain times, all of those types of things. They got it all written down. It's all in the database. So the point is that, they know exactly what's going on and where the penetration of guns are, because the people that register guns, they got all of that, on file.
Mm-hmm.
They got all of that data. They know what's going on. They know, but the point is that the policing, in my mind, when police should be looking for criminals, not harassing people, Joe Blow. But and a lot of times their presence deter crime. If they're walking around in the malls and you got a half a dozen police just walking around protecting the malls, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have those kinds of incidents. If they're circling around in the schools or every once in a while walking around in the schools, you're not going to have that. Their presence is the point. That's the point, because those people, that's what their job is, just to protect and serve. So I don't know if that's the answer or not, but I think it would help. For years, we was talking about. I was thinking about President Clinton. When he was in office, he promised that he was going to put 1 million police officers in the street.
Mm-hmm.
He did that. He did that. And not just him, but all of Congress, senators, and all that. 3 strikes you out,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what the crime is. You automatically going to jail. If you stole a pack of cigarettes or whatever, 3 strikes you out.
3 strikes and you're out.
I seen one years ago. Somebody had stole a pack of cigarettes or a case of cigarettes or whatever, and they had did 2 other crimes. Ended up getting, I don't know how many years. It was over 10, 12, 15 years. That's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, sometimes, we go overboard. And then sometimes we don't do the things that should be doing. How you going to have 1 million police officers? I think Chicago got something like 8 or 10,000 police officers. New York got something like 20,000, and on and on.
Yeah, but we never realized when Clinton did that the police force was going to be used like they are being used today, and that they are been set up to police our community and not police other communities, because everybody is visualizing crime as being in the Black community, but that's not true. It's not necessarily true that crime is always in our community, and they're using these police departments and these police officers and everything to keep us in check. I guess we got to keep those criminals, those people of color, in check. If you are people of color, we got to keep you in check. We're going to have to stop you whenever we get ready. And it has allowed a culture to come into our police officers that nobody envisioned at that time would happen, because everybody was high on crime, knocking the crime rate down. So when you knock the crime rate down, and then you got police officers out there and stuff and everything who are using their authority to discriminate against or look at people of color and stuff as being criminals automatically, because you're Black, you gonna create trouble. And I just don't. Man, we are in a day and time and stuff, Ted, that is, man, it's, I don't know. I still look at what's going on with us as being tied up into controlling us, controlling black people. And the point is that we have to control them, and we are an easy target because when you commit a crime, now, if that kid who had shot those children and those teachers in that school in Winer, Georgia, had it been black, they would have had that kid's picture sitting up there on the news media immediately. But because this 14-year-old child was white, it took them several days and stuff before they put this kid's picture and stuff out there on the news people, on the news. And we had a television station here in Atlanta who identified, when it first came out, they identified this black kid who was a victim, who had died, as a person who shot these folks. Now, they immediately corrected it and they took it down, and I mean, they hid it quick. They took it off the air and acted like they didn't do that. But they did, because that's how they look at us. We are criminals. We are criminals. And we have to figure out some kind of way on how to stop this. I in every aspect of our lives and stuff, we are being criminalized. Even though we are not criminals, we are being criminalized. And that is a ridiculous place to be at right now. I'm telling you. And I don't know if electing Kamala Harris to be the president of the United States is going to stop it. It hasn't stopped it. When Obama became president, we thought, hey, by we're president now, we can stop this mess. It did not stop. So I don't know what Kamala can do, Harris can do if she's elected to be the president of the United States. I have no idea if this thing is going to stop. But eventually, at some point in time, we're going to have to figure out some kind of way that we can be able to live free within this country and not have to worry about being.
Well, hey, what is free?
Hmm?
What is free?
Good question.
Because I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I always used to tell my kids, "We free, but you're not free.
Yep.
You can't go everywhere."
Nope.
They still have sundown cities right here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You are not free. You might think you're free, but you're not free. There's certain places that black people cannot go, and you're not welcome. And I don't know when black folks is going to understand this.
A lot
That
of us do. A lot of
well,
us
we are
do.
not, in so many places. Okay, I'll tell you a quick story. Just happened to me on the 50th anniversary of my wedding.
Mm-hmm.
My kids took us to a very famous restaurant in Tampa. And it was just, we had already went to another restaurant, had dinner and everything. So we went to this famous restaurant. They are known for their great desserts. And they got good food there, but, they overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there and had coffee and dessert. But when we walked in the place, you can feel it. You can feel it. I'm a very spiritual person. And I could feel I don't want to call it hate, but the bigotry, the prejudice. Where are all these black people? Because it was about 20 of us walking, and we took 3 little small rooms. You had to go upstairs to get these desserts and coffee. That's the way they do it. You eat the dinner downstairs, and then you go upstairs for your desserts. And these people were waiting to be served, and you can see they were standing there, and Now, some of them probably say, "Oh, they must be famous, or they must be this or that." You know, they take them to a special place or whatever. Some of them, but you can feel it. So there are white people who, and I don't want to call them privileged, but they're not used to seeing black people in certain establishments. And black people, a lot of black people are not welcome. Now, if you're famous, famous athlete, entertainer, or prominent businessman in the community, and you know a bunch of these folks, you know, you probably well received. But if you're just an everyday person that's going to these upscale restaurants or nightclubs or whatever the case may be, 9 times out of 10, you're not fully welcome. And when we learn that we're not welcome at every place we go, stop going there.
But so what you were saying is that when your children took you to this place, did they have any idea that uh
Oh, we
they,
discussed it after we came home.
oh, okay. Did
Of
they feel the
course.
same way as you felt?
I don't know. I
What
don't
did they
know.
say? Did they when you expressed your feelings
Well,
and stuff?
it wasn't all together, you know. Like I think I mentioned it a couple of times with a couple of my children, you know, and that was individually, and you know they sort of kind of agreed with me to a certain degree. But you know, the kids today they don't sort of kind of pick up on that kind of thing because they didn't go through it like we did. You know, there are so many uh, the white persuasion, Caucasian people. There are a lot of welcoming people because they have white friends, Latino friends, Asian friends, and that kind of thing. But
Hmm.
what I'm saying is that there are places when you go to an upscale restaurant or upscale places, you know, they're not accustomed to it because number one, they've been programmed so much, like you just said earlier, because whenever there's any kind of incident, especially black people, they blow it up and they show it on news a half a dozen times in 30 minutes. So they have been programmed to believe or think that black people, you know, and then you have these certain kind of people, and this is no knock on them because you know I have my peers are acting ratchet as well. Everybody, when you're young, you act ratchet, you know, when you're young because that's what teenagers and young adults do. They act crazy. They act ratchet. They act, you know, like they don't care. Whatever.
Hmm.
They haven't transferred over to adulthood quite yet.
Hmm.
But the point is that that's the attitude that they have of most black people. They're gonna clown around. They're gonna be loud. They're gonna be noisy. They're not gonna be courteous. They're not gonna be um, have manners and that type of thing. And so they have their preconceived notions or whatever. You know, when I used to take my kids to upscale restaurants, people used to come to our table. This is no lie. People used to come to our table. Oh, your kids are so well behaved.
I thought that we were the only ones that happened to.
Do you
When
understand what I'm
during the
saying?
summertime, we would have our grandkids to come down. It's like 9 of them. They would come and visit us for the summer, the grandparents. And anytime we took them to any restaurant or whatever, you're right. They would just come to us and say, "Man, your kids are so malleable. They're not running around and trying to destroy the place or sliding along the floor or whatever." And they just comment to us about it. And I thought we were the only ones that happened to. But
No, no, no,
it's ironic to hear you say that that
no. The point is that these people believe in the stereotypes, bro. And so they
I
thought that we
understand
was
that.
somebody. They thought that we was somebody special. No, we ain't nobody special. We have manners just like they have manners. And some of their kids don't have manners. Some of the families they have don't have manners, and they can go buck wild, just like some black folks don't have manners and they go buck wild. But the
Right.
point is that we are lumped into that group. But every white person that kills somebody or do this or do that, they don't lump all of them into the group. So that's just the bottom line. The point is there's nothing that we can do about it now. It's too late. It's the subconscious mind is just in them, and now they just gonna live with it. Now I'm gonna say this story right here. Let me tell you this story. Like I used to go to uh, a church in California, and the church was mixed, all kinds of people, and I never really socialized with hardly anybody there, but basically I had a few people, just a few people. But what I'm saying is that lately I've been going through YouTube and listening to these white ministers. Amazing how prejudiced and bigotry these people are. They supposed to be following Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and they're dogging, uh, talking about woke, and they're talking about transgender and all of this stuff and homosexuality and all of this stuff. They're supposed to be following Christ. Now, you're supposed to be teaching your flock about the word and how to treat people. If a person wants to live in sin, that's their prerogative. You know, you ain't gonna stop those people. So why are you talking about the world? If you're so concerned about the world, why don't you have your flock go out and minister to those people instead of having them all clogged up in the around four walls? If you're so concerned about the world, this is what I don't get. You so concerned about these people, they talk about all of that, but when the last time you heard about talking about adultery and fornication?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you talk about them stealing? Because you got a whole lot of pastors stealing.
Or they're sitting there and telling their congregation to support a criminal to be the
Yeah,
president of the United States.
yeah. But
You
no,
talking about
that's bogus.
you
That's
talking about
bogus.
you talking about two-faced it there. That's you got a convicted felon, and you're telling your flock that, okay, we can call people of color criminals, and we supposed to do this with them. We can't do that with them. But you've got a person, because he's white, he's a criminal. It is okay to support him.
Oh, they talking about, oh, God will use anybody, and he's supposed to be an example of some some king who was a bad person, but God used him anyway to help the people of God.
Well,
So that's what they saying.
why can't the Lord use use a black person and stuff as as a vessel for them?
Or anybody
It's,
else. The
oh
Bible
man,
tells, this is what the Bible tells me. God is in control of everything. Nobody's getting in a position unless he allows it.
hmm
So if, right, even though we have what we call somewhat of a democracy and, one vote, that kind of thing, And so the popular vote, and then we got this other thing going on, but the
Electoral
point
college.
is, yeah, we got that going on. But the thing is that whoever is chosen in that, that's what God has allowed because the people in their heart, they feel this is the right person. And if God don't want him or him or her in that position, it's not going to happen. But they're talking down, in which they're not even supposed to be doing that. They're not even supposed to be doing that. What you're supposed to be doing is, hey, you vote your conscience. You vote who's best, who you think is the best person. And I can't tell you who to vote for and not to vote for, but you vote your conscience. But they're telling people this man is a man that God has chosen.
He has sent him to us. Oh, Ted,
So
we
I'm
are
confused. I'm
we at
confused
the
of who
we at
these
the
people
end, my
are.
brother.
I'm
We are
confused. No, I'm serious. I'm confused who these people are. Are they Christians? Are they Christ followers? Or are they political uh, supporters, of whatever? that too. That too. They
they're
getting
being
money.
paid. They're being paid to say what they're saying to their congregation. They reached out to them and offered them money to endorse Donald Trump. And they don't care who he is or what he is. He could be the devil himself. You endorse him because we're going to be making sure that you become rich. We're going to start giving you money because at this point in time and stuff, Ted, that separation between church and state has become so tight that there is no difference. Church and state, they you can't distinguish between either one of them right now because they're allowing them to take federal money, federal government money, and put it into the church.
And you know who I fought?
Supreme Court.
I mean, it goes way back as far as Reagan, but I fought George W. Bush
Junior now. You talking about your junior now.
Jr.
You talking about junior. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Junior
you remember
Junior was an expert in doing that.
faith-based faith-based initiative.
Faith based. That's what he
They
was.
they
Junior
he
was
was giving money to these people every year. Every
Junior.
year he was giving them hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. And he was the first one to bring them all to the White House.
Yeah,
Y'all pray for me.
and he had that bogus war.
Yeah, old Bush Jr. was a mess.
Here's the thing, you
Whatever
know,
it took to win.
you know. I mean, at times, I thank God that He's a merciful, long-suffering, patient God. But I think His patience has worn out with some of these people because a lot of these people are lying. They're saying things. You may not agree with homosexuality. I don't. But the point is, that's their life. They live their own life. That's their life. Free
Mm-hmm.
country. But the point is, that's their life. This is a free country. It's just like when people want to smoke marijuana. That's their life. People want to drink alcohol. That's their life. You do anything over excessive, it can become a sin. But the bottom line is that this is supposed to be a free country. We're supposed to be able to go anywhere we want to and be welcome wherever we go.
Absolutely.
And
And
people, there are thousands and millions of people cannot do that.
and we should feel free, but we don't. Sometimes. Last word, Harvey. Last word. We
Well, here's the thing, I wanted to talk about Korea and North Korea and South Korea, but
go
I'll
ahead.
say,
You gotta I
I,
give you you got 5 minutes.
well, I was thinking about Korea and North Korea and South Korea. and they were saying that they are not having kids in South Korea like they used to.
They're not
So
having what?
their
Not having what
population is dwindling, is going down.
in South Korea.
South Korea, and so they're implanting Filipinos in there. So they're bringing Filipinos in there because a lot of these people, are so career oriented, and a lot of them, Korea, as far as uh, their products or their income has well above average, and
Mm-hmm.
they're career oriented. They're making a lot of money. They got great businesses there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they're not a large group of people. It's not that many there, but it's enough. 50 million people
Mm-hmm.
plus. But the thing is that when you compare that to North Korea, you know, South Korea is almost 2 trillion GDP. North Korea, not even barely a half a trillion. So, and the difference is that North Korea has, which Russia gave them, nuclear capability.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. That's the only thing that he has. However, South Korea military force is 700,000 strong. They're spending a lot of their money on military.
They're afraid of North Korea.
Right.
They're right across them to what they call the 49th parallel. They're right across, man, that they can reach out and touch them. They're afraid of them. When you become afraid of someone, Ted,
But
you do
here's
whatever
the
you
thing.
can to protect your people.
Here's the thing. Now, it used to be both, Korea used to be connected. They really are kind of like Chinese people, because China, not Chinese, Japanese people,
Mm-hmm.
they connected. But North Korea is connected to Russia and China.
They are
If
communist
anybody,
countries.
if anybody try to come against, because the Forgotten War was the what? North Korean War,
Mm-hmm.
the Korean War. My uncle served in the North Korean War,
Mm-hmm.
and so the point is that was like a trying to stop communism from spreading. That was the whole purpose of all of that. That's why we had the big hoopla against Russia, trying to
Mm-hmm.
stop communism. So now they are a totalitarian, I can't hardly pronounce it, totalitarian country that's ran by a dictator in North Korea. However, South Korea is a democracy.
Mm-hmm.
America is connected to
South
South
Korea.
Korea, and even their military trains with American soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that we was talking about the other day how we are the policemen of the world. We are
Absolutely.
connected to so many countries to
Absolutely.
assist them, and that's the reason why we are military strong. We are so military strong. However, uh, we got so much technology and all of that. But the bottom line is that all of these countries are connected to some other countries, and most of those countries, like North Korea, Iran, Russia, China, a few other countries, they are against democracy.
Mm-hmm.
They're against.
And and that is the exact reason why they are so happy to support Trump,
That's
because
it.
they see an ally and stuff in him, which
That's it.
yeah,
Because
but
what does North Korea want?
they want
South Korea.
commerce. They
They
want,
want to take control of South Korea.
but most of all, they want commerce. They want trade. They want to have trade, and they want to be able to have some trade with somebody so they can bring their GDP up, because right now they are barely able to exist in everything. And I know North Korea knows that they cannot attack South Korea. That is not in their being to try to do that, because they know that if they ever came across that 49th parallel to try to attack South Korea, that, man, America has so many ships and vessels and warships and stuff in that region that they are going to be immediately stopped from doing that. So,
well, like I said, but China supports North Korea,
yeah.
and they do a lot of trading with China.
Whew, man. Okay. That's I think that's a topic and stuff here for another big show and everything. So
Somebody
let's
trying to get you, bro.
end this. We're going to end this now.